Hello, guys. Welcome, everybody, to Purple Haze Podcast. I am your lovely host, Isaac here. So frick it. We're doing it outside because I have a lot of stuff to do. So why not? We'll just do it outside here. So, are the Vikings contenders or pretenders heading into the bye week after that disgraceful game against the Chicago Bears after the loss? Are they contenders? Because I tell you, I'm gonna talk a lot about this offense here as far as Kevin O'Connell's concerned, but Brian Flores has done an outstanding job, and basically, if I'm being realistic, they are 13th best defense right now. I never thought that would be true, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like to me it's top 10 at least. The defense has absolutely carried this team throughout the whole season, but there's still a lot of underlying issues coming with Kevin O'Connell as far as I'm concerned. But the Vikings offense has been god-awful. It's been garbage. I am being serious right now as far as Kevin O'Connell is. The reason why the Vikings haven't is due to coaching and to mismanagement of timeouts and turnovers. As far as I'm concerned, it's been much worse this season than it has last season. And you know what? Because that's been the main theme of Kevin O'Connell, is that it's scared football. Number one, it's scared football. You choose to basically be conservative and this goes way beyond just the second to last possession by the Minnesota Vikings. That was basically the entire Chicago Bears game, and throughout the entire time, where you're forfeiting possessions for no reason. And so it's downright pathetic. And if it's not run pass, it's runs, screens in the first on second down. And basically in Madden, usually I used to do it all the time on Madden. If I'm doing run, it basically may sound like that it's a good idea to do it, but in hindsight, it doesn't do jack. It doesn't help at your offense at all. It doesn't help. It does your offense more harm than good when you're just running and just doing screen passes and just all of that crap. It's not acceptable, really, to be doing this. And then not only that, it's scared football, I tell ya. It's scared. Look, I get Josh Dobbs, those 4 interceptions. They're terrible, but overall, it's still on Kevin O'Connell. And he's the sole reason why we're 6-6 and why we lost the last 2 games against the Broncos and the Bears. And he almost lost us the Saints game too. So the offense has been downright pathetic. It's been trash so far. So I don't know really how you can really say that the play calling has been bad. And this goes also turnovers. The Vikings offense, as far as turnovers and how many times they turned over the ball, they are first in as far as turnovers. They have the most turnovers in the NFL as of right now. Why? Here's why. It's either you don't have the right personnel out there, you have the wrong players on the field, and it's due to mismanagement, and 4, it's due to undiscipline. You're basically doing that and giving more offenses opportunities, and the defense is having to bail you out like that. That's not acceptable to be turning the ball over and being the first. And their rushing attack has been garbage too as well. 28th best as far as rushing attack. 5 rushing touchdowns throughout the 12 games that they have played this season. And Alexander Mattison is still your running back 1. And it's like Cam Akers and Ty Chandler were clearly throughout the first 4 or 5 games that Cam Akers was the better. Cam Akers and Ty Chandler were the better running back. But as far as Cam Akers got injured, that sucks, but Ty Chandler was still there. He was balling out and making plays left and right. And what did Alexander Mattison do to the Broncos game? He fumbled the ball, which killed all momentum and gave it to the Denver Broncos. And the very next game, I still am seeing Alexander Mattison out, like, getting more snaps and more rushing attempts than Ty Chandler. Are you kidding me? Like, it's basically the equivalent of like a dream team crap. And this is not going to work at all. And this basically goes way beyond that from what Kevin O'Connell can do. And it's very, very very, very worrying. This goes beyond the playoffs. This goes beyond what he has done. The main theme that Kevin O is scared. That is what is basically doing more bad than good to this team right now. Is they're playing scared. Is Kevin O'Connell's playing scared football. Bro, you get paid a lot of money though, man, to make these types of decisions. You can't just roll with just this the entire season. Because the last thing I want to see from Alexander, because Kevin O'Connell rolls him out there, is shock. That he ends your season, and if you basically go with Josh Dobbs the rest of the season, which I want Jaron Hall. That's the obvious. That's going to be for tomorrow's episode, but if you roll out Josh Dobbs, that tells me everything I need to know, and I'm not going to be surprised one bit. So this goes for the entire future, because I want to see this champion, and I want to see this with team win a championship. I've been the only time in my ever career where they went to the NFC Championship was 2017, and that ended up in a disaster. I really do. We all do. Everybody, every fan, if they're new, if they're old, they want to see this team win something and go to this Super Bowl and at least win a Super Bowl. That's what we all want. But so far, through the first 2 years, Kevin O'Connell's offensive game plan was just as effective as using honey to get rid of ants. And that's how bad it has been the last 2 years. And I am just begging Kevin O'Connell right here, right now, to just get rid of, just let somebody else. It isn't that hard. Give it to Wes Phillips. Give it to somebody else that can do all this. Let them take over, and you can just be the head coach. That's all I want you to be right now as far as being. Because if you continue doing the same thing over and over again, that's not contending teams. This is not what contending teams do all across. So, if you want to really be contenders and just contend, give it up to somebody else, Kevin O'Connell. Please just give it to somebody else. That's what I'm going to say. Otherwise, the conversations are just going to be the same way, and we're going to see the same loophole. And I think you might be on the hot seat. I think that's totally fair. So that's what I think during the bye week. They need some major changes straight up. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Skol.